What a horrific performance from start to finish in every aspect, from getting a red card to being undisciplined by getting bookings early to injuries to the refereeing. I mean, Anthony Taylor needs to not referee another Premier League game ever again, except Liverpool games. I mean, wow. What a dreadful day. Manchester United 3rd in the league, Southampton 20th in the league before this game. It's Manchester United 0, Southampton 0 at Old Trafford. Our first 0-0 draw of the season. Our first 0-0 draw since last season, which I believe was against Watford, maybe? No, we drew 0-0 against Watford last year. Embarrassing. Really embarrassing performance. Let's get into this. De Gea's a 7. I mean, absolutely fantastic. Did I close my tab? No. Absolutely fantastic to have a De Gea. Did his job. Made about 4 crucial saves. He's a contender for man of the match after coming off a horrific game against Real Betis with his distribution. Didn't really need to distribute today. When he did, he was good. And some of his saves were so clutch. Not many other goalkeepers in the world can make saves that he can. Especially that one-on-one on the break with Che Adams. I thought it was a fantastic save. Wan-Bissaka, probably... I'll give him a 6.5 for me. Actually, no, probably a flat 6. I'll probably give him a flat 6. Yeah, I thought Wan-Bissaka was okay. I thought he was very sound defensively. I thought when the back four was getting put under a lot of pressure, it was no doubt it wasn't the fullback's fault. It was completely the midfield's fault. And then half of that having 10 men. Because there was a point where we had no central midfielder. We had Bruno playing in the deeper midfield role. Sancho was a 10. No proper central midfielder. That's why we had to bring on McTominay for Weghorst so early. So, yeah, probably give him a 6. Wan-Bissaka. Varane, probably a 7. I'm not sure I'm going to give man of the match. It's between Martinez, Varane, and De Gea. But, yeah, Varane was fantastic. Absolutely superb. I mean, he's a Rolls Royce. He's won 4 Champions Leagues. There's a reason he's one of the best centre-backs in the world, one of the best centre-backs of all time. What a player, Rafael Varane. The absolute Rolls Royce. Just rolls along that back four like nobody's business. Lisandro Martinez, a 7 as well. I can't believe Martinez got a higher rating than Varane. I thought Varane was the strongest centre-back today. Maybe in the second half, Martinez was probably stronger, but I thought they were as good as each other. I think Martinez's ability to win the ball so high up in the midfield is absolutely outstanding, and he's so good on the ball, so comfortable on the ball, uses that left foot to perfection to give it out to the Luke Shaw, the Marcus Rashford, and yeah, fantastic game from Martinez. Luke Shaw, I'd give a 7. I would give a 7 to Luke Shaw. I thought Wan-Bissaka was probably the weakest now back four. I thought Wan-Bissaka was probably the best fullback in the first half, but I thought Luke Shaw in the second half redeemed himself. I thought Shaw was really good in the second half. Some of the crosses he puts in, some of the defensive work he does. I think his role as an inverted fullback is mainly why that score is so high and why he is such an amazing player. And look, lads, don't be fooled. The first 5 players have gotten some very good scores. Don't be fooled, because we'll get on to Casemiro, who for me is probably... I'll give him a 2. I'm going to give Casemiro a 2. Actually, no, I'll give him a 3. I'll give him a 3. Because he did make a few good interceptions, but that's 2 straight red cards in 6 weeks. He played the ball to Martinez, which caused him to get a yellow card in the first 10 minutes and put him under pressure for the rest of the game. Casemiro fucked up in this game way more than he did good. Lowest score you'll ever give Casemiro. That's a 3 for me. Horrendous performance. Absolutely horrendous. Won the ball back a few times, but so undisciplined. I mean, you're going in with the studs up. You can make a case for that not being a red because you got the ball first. But you going in studs up, you are gambling on that being a red or getting the ball. You're making that gamble, and it was a red. His fault. Bruno, I'm giving him a 6.5 to be honest. I'm giving him probably a flat 6, but I'm giving him a 6. And 5.7 is diabolical because Bruno is a machine. He got moved to about 3 different positions today, and he just had to keep on working, and he just worked so hard. He put some great balls through, and I understand he's frustrating at times, and he puts through some shit balls as well, but you've got to understand who Bruno is, and he'll always work his ass off, and sometimes you have a shit game while working your ass off, and this wasn't a shit game, it was a bit of a mid-game, but I never doubt Bruno's work rate, and never doubt Bruno's creativity when he's at his best. I thought Bruno had a few good creative moments today, but yeah, definitely nowhere near where we need him to be. he has to be rested against Real Betis. Casemiro will play against Real Betis, but he's got a 4-match suspension because it's his second leg of the season. So, yeah, Casemiro will play against Betis. I think he'll probably play alongside Fred, and I'd probably play Sancho at 10, or maybe Weghorst at 10. Fuck, on Sancho on the wing. God, Weghorst at 10 won't work. I think it'll be Sancho at 10 against Betis. I think Bruno needs a rest. Sancho, and the tie's already over. Sancho, I'd give a 5. I thought he wasn't... I thought first half I felt a little bit bad for Sancho because he got shifting into about 3 different positions. But I thought Sancho, when he got settled in the second half in one position at number 10... at number 10, then on the wing for about 50-50 in the second 45. I thought he was terrible. I thought no creativity whatsoever. I thought he looked slow and sluggish, and he's really going to start performing soon because his work rate isn't there either. And what I'm going to say quickly about Facundo Pellistri, when Pellistri came on, he tracked back consistently so well, putting pressure on Southampton and not letting them get an easy cross into the box. Pellistri, such a young player, tracks back so well, gets no game time, and yet Sancho and Anthony can't track back to save their lives. This is why Anthony's also a 5. Did not notice him whatsoever. And they both can't track back to save their lives when they're on the wing. And the work rate at number 10 is not there for Sancho. That's the thing. Yeah, not good at all from both of them. And Anthony, where was he? Rashford, probably a 5. Some of his runs were really questionable. Couldn't really get involved in the game. And you could probably say he may have been able to cross it to Weghorst one of those times. It was a bit of a hard angle, but I think Anthony and Rashford both need a fucking head check on that goal. That goal first mentality is a weakness and a strength because they both need to look into the box and put a ball in occasionally. Weghorst 6. I felt bad for him. Yeah, he came off after 43. Good team player. Gave Old Trafford a clap. Missing that header. He's not good in the air. He was assuming Bella Kotchap was going to get there. Always a good work rate. Can't see how Weghorst gets a 5. I think that's unfair. McTominay, I'm going to give a 6.5. I thought McTominay was really good. There's a massive skill gap in Casemiro and McTominay, but there's a massive skill gap between Casemiro and any DM in the world. And when Casemiro actually played well when he was on, I'm just pissed off about that red card because it's so undisciplined. McTominay did a job. He won the ball a few times. He moved the ball forward a few times. I thought McTominay did a job. Probably a 6. Garnacho, 6. Barely saw him. He got injured. Hope he's okay. Pellistri, 6.5. It just tracks back and make a massive impact. Fred, 6. Maguire, 6. And these low scores, man. Ten Hag. Maguire's substitution was fine. Fred's substitution was fine. Pellistri and Garnacho's substitutions were fine. McTominay's substitution was made at a good time. I thought the team selection was, at the time, was probably good because we needed to switch things around a little bit. I thought Bruno in the deeper midfield role, I mean, you can't fault anything that Ten Hag really did in terms of team selection. He gave Wan-Bissaka a chance. I would have started Pellistri. That's my only thing, but yeah, I don't think... I thought his tactics were fine. I don't think Ten Hag had a bad game. I think it's a solid 6. I think it's an average 6. I don't think you can blame Ten Hag for anything today. I think the players are just knackered. The players didn't play well, and we just need a leg refresh, and we need some new players in the summer because they're all knackered, and we need the season to end and get top 4. Submit my vote. I've got no man of the match. I give it to De Gea because Varane and Martinez were very good, but I think De Gea actually saved us on multiple occasions. So haven't given De Gea man of the match in a while, but I'm going to give it to David. And David De Gea does receive man of the match, 46% of the vote. It feels like last season. It feels like a 0-0 to Watford. It feels like giving De Gea man of the match like we did every week last season. And yeah, it was always either De Gea or Ronaldo with man of the match last season. It's De Gea today. That had signs of Ollie in it. It wasn't a good performance. Not signs of Ollie. In terms of the result and struggling, yeah. At least it's an excuse that we've got no squad and we need fresh legs. But God, that wasn't a good result today. Real Betis on Friday. The tie's already over. We just need to heavily rotate. And then we have Fulham in the Cup on Monday. And then we have... Let me check the schedule. We've got Fulham in the Cup on Monday. Then we have an international break. We can refresh. then for Newcastle, which Casemiro is suspended for, then Brentford, which Casemiro is suspended for, then Everton, which Casemiro is suspended for. Newcastle away will be tough with no Casemiro, but Brentford and Everton at home, we need revenge on Brentford, who are a good team. I'm not going to underestimate them. We just drew 0-0 to the bottom of the league at Old Trafford. And then Everton, we must get a result against the 3 points. Look, the wheels aren't coming off, do not worry, but we're getting knackered and we're getting tired every single game as the games go on. Yeah, that's 3 points gone begging. 3 points gone begging. I'm going to give credit to Southampton. I thought James Ward-Prowse was unbelievable. I thought Ward-Prowse was man of the match. And I thought Ward-Prowse or De Gea were the two best players on the pitch. Yeah, so we've got next game against Betis and Fulham in the cup, and our next league games our next league game is in about 4 weeks. Our next league game's in 3-4 weeks against Newcastle. So there's a while till we play back in the Premier League. Europa, FA Cup, international break. See you later, lads. That's a sour taste in the mouth, and that's 1 point from 6 in the league, and we don't play in the league for another month. Casemiro gone for a month with suspension. Devastated. See you all next time.